Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday morning again, and I'm still here in Canada. While I'm talking to you guys, waiting for a few of you to get on. I'm going to make sure my volume is all the way up. Okay, I think I've got my volume set. Okay, so today is Casing Tuesday, and that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. And about 3 weeks ago, I had a day in between visiting my son in California, and good morning, Mary. And I had a day in between that and before I flew out to Canada to take care of my mom. And so I managed to make 3 cards for the next 3 Tuesdays. And I was hoping that they would last me the whole time. And I will tell you a little bit later on in this video when I am coming back, getting back to Boston. I have booked my flight, so I'm really excited about that. You know, I love my mom and taking care of her and all, but I have set up almost as much as I can set up here before I go, and it's hard when you have lives in 2 different spots, and I hope some of you can relate to that. But anyway, I made these 3 cards before I left, and so I'll be showing you the card that I made for this week's Casing Tuesday challenge today. And so you are welcome to play along with us. We have a Facebook group for that, and you can find that if you click on over to my blog. You will see the link in the description of this video. Just look down below. I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of links down in that description, including a supply list for the things for the card that I'm making today. So let's take a look at the original card sketch, and I'll tell you how I made my card, and then I'll tell you what's going on with me here in British Columbia. Okay, so let's take a look at the card first. Okay, so it's this really cute card using, I forget the name of the set or the bundle in the catalog. I don't have the catalog in front of me right here. Maybe someone can tell me which bundle this is. This is the original card. This is not my card. And I love this card. It is using the, it's called the Picture This Dies. This is our blueprint. So if you're looking at this thinking, oh, I don't know how I'm going to make this any differently, wait till you see my card, and then maybe you'll be inspired on a different way to use it. So here is the sketch, actually, and the sketch will help you a lot because this is the Picture This Dies, and this will give you an idea of if you don't have these dies, just cut a bunch of different size circles or even same size circles and put them out there on the card. This die actually cuts the holes into a piece of cardstock, and then you can use those holes to put little pictures in it. So it's kind of fun, but you can also just use circles. So there's different ways to create this card. Or say you don't have circles, say you're starting out, use rectangles, use a different shape, use squares, use something like that. So what I did for my card was this. Let me bring this in. So I was trying to create a quick card because I had not very much time to create those 3 cards on the day in between, and I had to do laundry, I had to do a bunch of stuff. So to manage to make 3 different cards using a blueprint was actually quite amazing, because I also had to photograph the cards on my in my photograph area. I could have photographed them here, but I wanted to photograph them where I normally photograph them in my studio. So I managed to do all that before I left. So this is my card using the Picture This Dies, and I used the Rain or Shine Designer Series paper because it was the easy button. I could have also stamped these images and colored them, and that would have been with the Playing in the Rain bundle. So just by using this paper, so let's start off, let's take a look at how the card started out. So the card is just like a regular card base for Stampin' Up. It's 8.5 by 5.5 and then scored in half at the 4.25 inch mark. And then on this side, I used this, can you see this, this paper? It's so pretty. It's a specialty paper, this raindrop paper. I cut that to 5 inches by 3.25 inches. And then I used the Picture This dies to cut all of these little holes in it. I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it cut all of those little holes. You can see the little stitches around there. And then I took the paper and I chose some of the animals, and I kind of just did a rough cut around them. I left enough room around each one so I could play with it in each of the holes and decide which one would fit best in each hole. Now you'll notice that some of the images are a little cut off, but I think that's fine because it's like a peekaboo, right? So that little umbrella and the daisy might be a little bit cut off, but it still looks fine. Just maneuver the picture around in the hole until you get the right placement. You might need to trim around, like some of the paper might stick up on the side or around or into these other little holes right here. You know, and so you'll just trim until you can't see any paper in the holes. So I kind of did the trimming beforehand, but you can do it afterwards. If you put just a little bit of glue around the back side of each of the hole and stick the photo down, you could then just rough cut with your scissors around there, and just to make sure that it doesn't stick into the holes. Okay, so then you'll notice, can you see that little hole, that top little hole, the tiny one? And it looks like there's little tiny raindrops. So in order to do that, and look, it's kind of cool because it looks just like a shade darker than the balmy blue cardstock. So I took a piece of vellum and I embossed it with a raindrops embossing folder. But that folder only gives you a certain amount of raindrops. So if you shift the vellum a little bit and run it through a second time, you can get more raindrops. And so that worked better for my card because when I put the piece of paper behind there, only a few raindrops were showing. So by running it through a second time, I had a few more raindrops. And the vellum piece is almost like you can cut it the exact same size as your paper, which is 5 inches by 3.75 inches. So you can cut it the same size or just a little bit smaller, and then just glue it behind after you have, make sure you get these pictures in place first, and then add the vellum afterwards. And then I glued that to my card base and added this little baker's twine bow and some iridescent rhinestone jewels. I added 3 of them. You can kind of see them twinkling there. But the paper itself also has a shine to it, so it's kind of a fun card, fun rainy card. You can turn this card into whatever card you want. It could be a birthday card. It could be a thank you card. It's whatever you want it to be. So on the inside, I just went ahead. I actually was going to use this guy for one of the holes, and then I decided he was a little too big, but I already had him cut out of the paper, so I cut him out further. I just kind of outline cut him and stuck him down on the paper and then stamped "Oh Happy Day" on here, and now this card can still be used for whatever purpose you want. So such a cute little card. I just love it. So I do want to let you all know that we are coming up very shortly, I think in about a week, we are coming up to the retirement list for both our annual catalog and for the spring mini catalog. So if you see anything out of there that you want, some items like that country bouquet punch, those are on back order right now, and they will be coming into stock in the future. And the same with the bunny punch. That one, the Easter bunny punch, will also be coming in later. But like if you see anything out of those catalogs that you want, you might want to think about getting them now. A lot of things are already like they're If they run out of something right now and they're retiring it, then they will not be getting it back in stock. They will just say it's no longer available. We already have a couple of those items out there. The other thing that's retiring or should be retiring are the in colors that end in the year 2023. So those in colors and all the products associated with those colors will be retiring. We are also going to be doing a color renovation. So I've kind of held off and saying, oh, all of these colors will be retiring because we're not 100% sure. Some of those in colors may actually be coming back into the collection. I don't know. But normally they all retire, and so I don't know what to tell you. But if you love one of the colors, let me just go in the background. I'm going to pop open the Stampin' Up! Store and just remind myself what those colors are, because my brain, I've been up since 3 a.m. It's a long story. Not a long story, but it was a morning, all right. And so my brain is not functioning on all cylinders today. Shop by color. And these colors are going to be retiring. Okay, so the colors that are going to be retiring, and I don't know if any of them are coming back, are Evening Evergreen, Fresh Freesia, Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So if you like any of those colors, make sure you get some cardstock. Make sure you have an ink refill if you have the ink pad. The Stampin' Blends, if you want some extra of those, get those now, because those will be they might be, I hate to say, be so ambiguous. I don't know if any of them are coming back. I don't know if they're going to make it into the core collection, but they could be retiring completely and not coming back. So just keep that in mind. If you like a color, if it's continuing around, then it doesn't really hurt that you have an ink refill and the extra cardstock kicking around, because you will use it because you like that color, right? So okay, so let me give you an update on what is happening with my mom. Oh, just one more thing before I do that. I do have a March host code, so if you are planning on ordering, please use this host code if your order is under $150. And if your order is $50 or more, or for every $50 you spend with me in March, you're going to get a pack of my retired designer series paper that's been cut up into 6x6. Later on in March, when I'm back in Boston, I will show you what those packs look like. They will have at least 20 sheets in them. And if you earn more than one package, it will definitely be a different package. Like you won't, they will be different papers. So it will be a fun surprise. I know a lot of my customers really love this special. I do it every year, and they love getting 6x6 paper packs, and that are all packaged up real cute, and they have some fun new papers to play with. And I, right now, the way I've been doing it, I always use the same paper in each paper pack. I don't mix and match. So you'll be getting like coordinating paper that originally came in the original pack, and that's what I'm cutting down. And each pack will have at least 20 pieces of paper in it. So I hope you like that special for this month. And if you're going to be buying anything coming up that's retiring, it's just an awesome time to get in on that. Okay, so now my update. So I will be flying back to Boston on Thursday. So I've been here on Thursday. It will have been 3 weeks, and I've gotten a lot of stuff arranged. I have 2 more days. I've got a couple more things to do. We fixed my mom's computer. We installed a new lock on her door, a keypad lock. There's just so many things that I set up that were like not done before. We got my mom's taxes ready to to her person that does her tax preparer. I got those over there. Like there was just like a lot of busy work, and I wanted to be on here more and do more emails and all of that. But honestly, I was pretty much busy from morning till night, and by the time the day was done, I was exhausted. This morning, my mom, when she got up, she's been getting up independently and going to the washroom, but last night she was getting up a little bit more often, and I've been letting her go on her own because she's been telling me I can do this on my own. And so I'm like, okay, I'm right there across from the washroom when she gets up, but she fell again. So she's fallen like 3 times, like once before I got here, once I caught her, and this time she fell. I shouldn't say she didn't hurt herself, but she didn't hurt herself badly. And my sister is actually a nurse. And so, I've kind of gone by her recommendation because at this point, I think I mentioned last week, my mom is now on palliative care. So I don't know if everyone knows what palliative care is, but that's it's not hospice where you're necessarily imminently dying, but you are no longer receiving treatment for, like, my mom's no longer receiving cancer treatment, and she's not going to go on dialysis. Her kidneys are very low functioning. She didn't want to do dialysis anymore, and I support her in her decision. She has done dialysis before in the past, and she was adamant about not doing it again. And I think it's a huge thing when, we if you're caring for someone, you don't want to just say, okay, don't try anything, like, don't just give up, just let the person, do whatever they want without trying to see if that's what they really want. So we did do a lot of backing and forthing even before this, me coming out. Like, there was talk about this, like, I don't know, for a few months already, about what she wanted to do in the future. And finally, I just realized that this was just truly what she wanted. And so now it's the point where you have to kind of respect someone's wishes, what they want. And I, on camera right here, right now, I'm like very, I don't know, maybe I seem composed, and it's not that my heart isn't all in this. Like, I've shed my tears, but I feel like it's a huge thing to respect someone's desires and wishes in life, especially when they're closer to the end of their life. Like, respect the fact that they don't want to do treatment anymore, and respect some of those things in their life. And so anyway, so we've come to this. My mom's on palliative care. She fell last night, but my sister said, if she isn't really injured, that it's probably better not to have her go to the hospital, because being on palliative care means they're just going to keep you comfortable rather than do all of the extra things that they would do, like if you were younger and you fell, right? So anyway, I made sure I helped her get up. It was a little bit of a process. I've Googled some videos now on how to help people get up off the floor, and we managed to get her up onto a chair, and then I managed to get her back into bed. And so that is where we're at. It's gonna be like still probably a transition time, but we're getting all the things in place, like a medical alert system. The first one didn't work so well for us, so now I'm gonna get another one. And so it's just a process of trying to get things in place. She will have people coming in to check in on her, and my sister also will be there, but my sister works full time, so we kind of need extra care to come in and take care of my mom. And so we're getting all of that set up, and so I'll fly back on Thursday, and I think it will be really good to get back. It's it's very intense when you fly in and do something like this, because I don't have all the things around me that I normally have around me. So like, I'm a visitor in this place. I don't have my local support network, and it feels a little isolating when you're here, and this is all you know and all you have to focus on, and every day it's just like organizing things and being a cheerleader and trying to be upbeat all the time. It can be really draining, and so I really feel for those people who are caregivers and have to do this. It is not an easy job, and I applaud you for doing it, because I'm just flying in for 3 weeks, and it's quite daunting, a task, but I'm good at getting things done. I think that's one of my talents. So this is what I'm doing, being useful to my mom and my sister, and doing all of that. So anyway, so as for what's going to happen this week, I do not feel like I can turn around and do a Friday video. As much as my brain thinks I would like to do that, I leave here at I'm going to have to leave the condo here probably at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I will not be getting into Boston. I actually haven't looked at the time I'm getting into Boston, but I lose 3 hours flying back because it's Pacific Standard Time here, and I'm moving back to Eastern. I think I get in at like 8 o'clock or something in Boston on Thursday, and I haven't designed anything yet. I hope you can appreciate how difficult it is to design something without your tools there. Like, I can dream up something perhaps, but without having, like, seeing what I have, like, in my house, and having my scoring board and having all of those tools, it's so hard to design. I would design, and then I would, like, decorate it and then photograph it and turn around and do it on Friday. I think it's going to be quite impossible for me to do that. So rather than try and kill myself and do something for you on Friday, I'm going to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday to regroup. I've got host code gifts to get out from last month. So I've got a lot of stuff that I need to get done on the weekend. So I think I'll do that, and I'll just restart, next week with my regular schedule on Tuesdays and Fridays, and just get that going again, because I would love to do something, but I feel like my brain after flying all day is not going to be there. So we'll just forget about that and just move on to the following week and just get things done. So that's where it all stands, and I'm going to read some of your comments. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Jan. Oh, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Gian. And Gian said that first card was share a milkshake. Thank you for that. This one right here. Share a milkshake. Yes. Why couldn't I remember that? I'm not sure. Oh, fuzzy brain. Fuzzy brain this morning. And because of the time change, when I got up into this room this morning, it was so dark. I was setting up, and now it started to get light out, but it was just like very dark this morning compared to last Tuesday. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to bring in some lights here. Oh, good morning, Karen. Oh, you've got snow in New Jersey. I think we're getting some weather in Boston too, in that area. But I hear it's going to be Thursdays. I'm looking, checking the weather. I'm thinking Thursday will be a good fly day, because everywhere I have to take 3 flights to get back. I'm flying through Kelowna, Vancouver, Toronto, Boston. And all the airports that I'm flying through, I think, have okay weather on Thursday. Not like when I was flying out here, and it was like, I thought, there's no way I'm getting here the same day, but I made it somehow. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the weather is good. Okay. Karen says my card is adorable. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm not demonstrating it. I had to this is what I could do. So it is what it is, right? And Dee says, such a cute card. Thank you for that. Good morning, Janine. Dee says, prayers for strength to you and your family. Letting go to respect a loved one's wishes is so difficult. It is. It really, truly, truly is. But it is something that needs to be done because, you can't force your own wishes on someone else. I mean, I think it's different at different age points. If it was your child, it would be different than an elderly parent, because different life expectancy, different frame of mind, different time of life. But yeah, at that point, it is tough. She says, but it's necessary in the circle of things. Being a caregiver is very difficult. I'm sure your mother greatly appreciates all that you do, and you're an angel for caring for her. Safe travels home on Thursday. Thank you, Dee. Can't wait to connect with my team again. I'm sorry that I've kind of let everything go. I just hard to do everything well. And so I thought I would do the one thing that mattered the most well, right? Good morning, Pam. Good to see you. Ellie said, you have my utmost care and concern in this difficult situation, Brenda. Don't expect too much of yourself. Lean on us anytime you need to. Aw, thank you, Ellie. And Janine said, you are in an almost impossible situation. Be gentle with yourself. Peace to you all. Don't forget, we're always here for you. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. That means a lot because it hasn't been exactly easy. And I try and be stoic, but sometimes it's tough, right? Okay, so I think it will be really good for me to get back to doing some things in life. When you're only doing hard stuff in life, it's really difficult, right? So one of the things that is really good for me personally is card making and paper crafting because it's creative and it lights up your brain in a positive, wonderful way, even though I'm all stuffed up now. But it's true. It's true. And I think for many of you, and I know some of you are caregivers out there, and I know some of you are going through difficult stuff, but having something that you're passionate about, having art in your life, accessible art like stamping and paper crafting is so amazing and awesome. And so I guess I'll leave on that note and say, hey, this is why I have, something that I do that I love like this. And I'm glad I can share it with all of you. And thank you so much for being here and for supporting me. And next week, I hope to be back on Tuesdays and Fridays with some new projects. I can't wait. And I hope to get caught up and get all my gifts out the door. And next week, I'll share with you live what the new gifts for this month will look like. All right, everyone, you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. And Marty says, much love to you and your mom, and Ellie says, safe travels. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye.